Hey everyone, I hope you all are safe and doing good. So we are discussing dynamic programming. But for dynamic programming, I've told you prerequisite is you need to understand recursion first. Okay. And we have solved, I think, two questions also, Fibonacci series and one more question, climbing stairs. Three questions. In that questions, I think you have noticed that first we solved with simple recursion, then we applied DP, means we optimized recursion, that is nothing but DP, right? So maybe you are thinking that whenever you can solve a problem with recursion, means you can use DP to solve that problem efficiently. To optimize that, we can use DP. Every recursion problem is a DP problem, programming problem. Maybe, but that's not a case. In this lecture, I'll tell you difference between recursion and DP, or you can say recursion and how recursion and DP are related. But first, prerequisite is I think you know what is recursion. We have discussed this in that recursion topic. I guess you first go through those videos first. You need to understand recursion. Okay, but briefly I'll tell you what is recursion. When a function calls itself, then it's recursion, right? Or when a function call itself on a smaller input, like if you find factorial of a number 5 factorial, then can we simply write 5 factorial is 5 into 4 factorial? Can we write this? Or 4 factorial, can I write something like 4 into 3 factorial? Okay, so when a function call itself on a smaller input, then it's recursion. That is what recursion. But how you identify that in a problem? If a problem is given to you, how you identify that you can use recursion here? So you will have to, uh, take care of few things. That if you can solve first thing, main sign will be given in that problem is you can solve the problem by solving the same problem on smaller input. That's one case. You need to understand, you need to identify that thing. Like in this case, factorial of a number. So the big problem is find out 5 factorial. You can solve the same problem by solving the same problem on smaller input. Smaller input is 4 factorial. Previously n was 5, now n becomes 4. Then n becomes 3. So if you get 3 factorial, if you know 3 factorial, you can easily find out 4 factorial. If you know 4 factorial, you can easily find out 5 factorial. So we simply write this function how? Factorial of n is equal to n into fact of n minus 1. Like this we write. So the same problem is same. Factorial you are finding. Problem is not being changed. Factorial of a number you can find out by finding out factorial of a smaller number, that is n minus 1 number, and by multiplying this by n. Okay. So if this is a hint, means recursion. Second is there is a clear base case, because to stop recursion it's very important that you know a base condition. If base condition is not correct, if there is no base condition, then recursion will not stop and it will be an infinite recursion. So there'll be a clear base condition or termination condition of recursion. Like in this case, 3 factorial we can find out 3 into 2 factorial. Then 2 factorial we can find out 2 into 1 factorial. And we know 1 factorial is 1, or you can say 1 factorial is equal to 1 into 0 factorial, and 0 factorial is also 1. So that's base condition. We know we have to stop here. Yes. So we have divided this bigger problem into smaller problems, smaller sub problems, till we reach to the smallest problem and we know answer of this problem. So we can use it, then we can find out 2 factorial 3, then ultimately 4, then 5 factorial. Okay, so there is a base case. There is a clear base case when to stop. Same for Fibonacci series. You know what is base case. Fib of 0 is 0, fib of 1 is 1. After that, you can find out fib of any n 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever. So you know base cases, right? Next sign is what? In the question, you are being asked to generate or try all possibilities. Like in climbing stairs, you were asked to find out or to tell distinct ways to climb to the top. Means all the ways to climb from here to top, and you can jump 1 and 2 steps. So that was recursion. You are supposed to generate, or you are supposed to find out all the possibilities, all the ways. You have to count number of ways. So if such kind of hint is given in question, try recursion. Next hint is if choices are given. That's really important. Choices or branching means either you can take it or don't take it. Include or exclude. Left or right. These kind of choices will be given to you. So that is what recursion. Like I think you remember in greedy, when we were discussing greedy approach, then we have seen a fractional knapsack problem. Knapsack problem was what? You will be given some weight, some items having weight and value or profit, and you will be given a bag having some capacity, suppose 10, and everyone is having some weight and profit, and you have to choose the item such that you get maximum profit. But whatever item you choose, then the total of those weight of that item does not exceed to this weight bag capacity, like that. So you have choices here. You can take this item or not. Second item will check you can take or not. It depends. If this item is having weight more than this capacity, don't take it. Otherwise you can take it or don't take it. That depends in whatever your selection method is. So you are given choices here. In climbing stairs also you have choices. You can climb one step or you can jump two step. You have choice. Choice means either you can go this or this. At every stage you have choices, this or this, this or this or this or this, like that. So if you have branching or choices given, you will be able to generate such kind of diagram. Okay. And whenever such kind of diagram or decision tree, you can say, structure is there, then definitely this will lead to recursion. So that problem you can solve with recursion. That's how we identify that in these kind of problems we can use recursion. And that thing will come to you when you solve many problems. But these are some hints will be given in question. So you can find out that, yeah, recursion we can use. Okay. Now, it doesn't mean that if a problem is being solved with recursion, then it's a DP problem. Yeah, that's not true always. Recursion is a technique to solve problems. DP is what? An optimization technique to solve problem efficiently. But generally, the thing is, dynamic programming starts with recursion. So we solve the problem with recursion, then we optimize it with memoization, or then we use bottom up. There are two ways to implement DP. So generally, DP solutions or problem starts with recursion. That's why maybe you think that every problem which use recursion is a DP problem. No, like a factorial, it's not a DP problem. DP means dynamic programming, means that some hints will be given. So that is what recursion you have to use. Now, when to use DP? If you are given these hints, like you know when to use DP, how to identify you have to use DP. So you will be given choices. First thing, choices will be given in the question, branching or some decision tree you can generate. Plus now it means you can use recursion. Yeah. Then you will be asked in the same question some maximization optimization, or you can say you are being asked some optimal solution. Optimal solution. Minimum, maximum, this thing. Okay, minimum cost, maximum profit, like that. These two will leads to a DP problem. Means you can solve with this dynamic programming. Only choices are given. Yes, recursion. Now in this recursion, you are having overlapping problems. You have to understand. Means you are given these kind of choices. So either this or this or this. So this will lead to generally overlapping sub problems. Right? Like same problem, same sub problem, you have to solve multiple times. But don't do it. Now you can optimize it. Now it's a DP problem. Now you can apply here DP. You can store the intermediate results and then you can use it. That is nothing but DP, dynamic programming. It's just an optimization technique. Simple. It's nothing more than that. It's not a rocket science. Okay. So it's like we are optimizing recursion. So that is DP. So if recursion means you can solve with recursion, plus this recursion have what I've told you now, overlapping sub problems and optimal substructure, two things, then you can use DP there to optimize it. So that's difference between recursion and dynamic programming. This thing you need to identify, because in factorial it's not a DP programming. It is, yeah, you can use recursion here like this, but it's not DP. There are no overlapping. Yes, if you find out, if you call factorial of n, if you generate this decision tree kind of diagram, so it's n into this, so it will call fact of n minus 1. Yes, then it will call factorial of n minus 2, like this. So see, only one side. There are no choice that at every stage I can go here or here. No, this is diagram is something like this. It's not something like this. There are no branching. It's simple one direction. N minus 1, then fact of n minus 2, then fact of n minus 3, until fact of 0 or fact of n, and then we have to stop and we go back. So there are no overlapping problems. It's not that we will be solving same sub problem multiple times. No. This diagram is on one side. It's not this side. So it's not a DP problem. Yes. That's how you have to identify. Okay. So that is something about more about recursion and DP. If a problem is given, how you will identify it's a simple recursion problem or it's a DP problem. Okay. Main thing you have to check. Choices are given. Yes, recursion, branching are given. Branching is there. You can generate such kind of decision tree. At every step, you have to decide from given choices either take it or don't take it, include or don't include. You have to go left or right, kind of that. Like in tree traversals. So recursion. Plus, you are asked some optimal solution. So you can use DP there. So I think these points are clear to you. You can identify whether you have to use a normal recursion here, or you can optimize that recursion with DP also in a given problem. Okay. Now, dynamic programming, whenever we discuss dynamic programming, the main thing is we discuss knapsack problems, right? So in the next lecture, we'll see, first of all, we'll see what are different types of knapsack problem, and then we'll see 0-1 knapsack. Okay. So that's it for this lecture. Now, also the next lecture. Till then, bye bye. Take care.